Today, I'm trying tablet weaving for the very first time. This is a design that was discovered in Denmark and it dates back to the 10th century. My name is Jen and this is Windrose Fiber Studio, and I hope that you'll join me today. Tablet weaving, or card weaving as it's often referred to in the United States, dates back to the 8th century before the Common Era. The weaving I have chosen as my first project was discovered in a gravesite in Malmö, Denmark, and dates back to the Viking era. I am of Scandinavian descent, so I like the idea of an ancient weaving from Denmark. First, I have to give all credit to Eloise of Finchingfeld for this pattern and for her tutorial. I have linked her channel in the description below. I have always wanted to try tablet weaving, and I was so happy to find her channel with everything I needed to get started. I warped my ankle loom in episode 7 of my Fiber Artist Diaries, and I'll link that below as well if you would like to see that process. I sped this video up to 4 times its original speed. I was just trying to work very carefully so as not to make any mistakes. I have some experience weaving, but I'm feeling more awkward with these cards than I thought I would. This is a skip hole weave, so the cards with only 2 threads want to skew in different directions. I was really happy at the beginning of this project though, because I was finally doing this thing that I've wanted to do for a long time. I created a really cozy workspace for myself on the floor in the corner of my studio. I don't know why, but I'm always so happy sitting on the floor. I elevated the ankle loom by resting it on a blanket, so I grabbed another furry blanket that I could have over my lap, not because it's particularly cold in my studio. I just wanted my mind and my body to feel comfortable and relaxed as I embarked on this new craft. If you've been watching, you already saw me pause for a moment, and it's because I know something is not going right. And now you can see me pause again because I'm sure something is not as it should be. And yet I keep on weaving. I'm not sure what that impulse is to keep going, even though you know that it's going wrong. I think it might just be my stubborn nature. I was also thinking a little bit that maybe I would just work through the 24 picks and figure it out from there. But in the end, I do stop halfway through because there really was no point in continuing. The pattern I was weaving is not the pattern on my diagram. I had a big problem though, and that problem was that I didn't know where I was going wrong. I stop everything, and you can see me taking the time here to check each and every individual card to make sure that they were warped correctly. I have all the threads going through the right holes from the right direction. And I feel like if there are any actual card weavers out there watching this video, you saw where I went wrong at the very beginning of this video, but I have not figured it out yet. I went back and watched the tutorial frame by frame and finally figured out where I went wrong. I was starting with my cards in the wrong position. I was beginning with the A in the upper left-hand corner instead of in the upper right-hand corner. At this point in the process, I was just very happy that I had identified where I went astray and to finally start back at the beginning and this time get it right. I was trying to shake off that frustration and think on the bright side. One of the benefits of my false start was that I was now getting way more comfortable manipulating the tablets. With my renewed sense of confidence, my plan was to get through the pattern one time before I had to leave the studio for the day. I would love to be able to tell you that everything went beautifully from this point onward. Unfortunately, that is not the case. You can kind of see me hesitating, looking at my own weaving, and that's because, once again, it is not looking like it should. This is not the design, and I know it. I was feeling really agitated, but this time more with myself than anything else, because I knew I had my ankle loom warped correctly. I knew I had the right starting position for the cards. So somewhere along the way, a card or two must have gotten turned incorrectly. It's that lesson that maybe when you're feeling frustrated, you should step away for a minute and give yourself a chance to settle down before you keep going. I am a mellow human, but I also have an incredibly strong will, so I stubbornly decided to go ahead and work my way through all 24 picks. I think I just needed the satisfaction of being able to say that I worked through the entire design one time before I called it a day. I was just not wanting to end the day on this unsuccessful note. So, did I leave it at that? Nope, no. I took my ankle loom home and told myself that I would not sleep that night until I worked through this pattern successfully at least one time. I'm not sure what that reveals about my personality, but I'm pretty sure it's not good. Okay, cue the hopeful music. It turns out the third time was the charm. I was able to work through the pattern and have everything go as it should. What a wonderful feeling. I still came back into the studio the next day, got back into my cozy corner, got back under my fluffy blanket. I wanted to work through it again just to make sure that first time wasn't a fluke. Also because tablet weaving turns out to be quite enjoyable when you're not completely messing it up. I would be remiss if I didn't share what a hard time I had letting go of my mistakes. I look down at those 5 inches or so of weaving where it all went wrong and just think about all of that wasted warp, when the reality is I will have plenty of this woven trim to use for all kinds of projects. Thank you, my little Roadrunner plushie, for your support and for never giving up on me. More importantly, thank you, viewers, for your creative energy. Even if you were looking at the screen at the beginning of this video, shaking your head, knowing that I was off to a bad start. I am grateful that you're here, that I can share my beginner's journey, and I actually do get a lot out of being a beginner. Yes, some of that is frustration, but I think the humility that comes with that is such a good thing. It serves to amplify my own appreciation for handmade goods, both ancient and modern. Well, I guess I have quite a bit more weaving to do. Once again, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.